Hey guys, so today I'm going to be testing out the Evo Aviation Rebel 2 RS frame. That's the frame right there. What a sweet looking machine, huh? Such a pretty machine. Anyway, I got the Atom 80 on it. I weigh about 150 pounds, so the Atom 80 should be a perfect fit for me. It keeps everything a little lighter. Yeah, so there you have it. This is actually going to be my second time flying it, because the first day I got to fly it, the conditions weren't good and my footage didn't come out very good. So I'm posting this instead. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, see you up in the air. There we go. Well, running with it felt good. Alright. Wing looks good. Definitely not going very fast, but one thing I noticed right away with this frame, because the swing arms are wider than most, I don't know what all other frames are, but I know for my frame that I had before, it was a lot less. So this one, it's at 52 millimeters from end to end. So that puts the stance out a little wider, which is great for weight shift. Let's see, my weight shift, I'll do weight shift right now. And look, I'm turning no problem at all. Look at that. It's like I just pulled a brake. Turning really good. So I'm already 90 degrees in no time flat. So let's go the other way, weight shift. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like bam. So that's the advantage of having the wide swing arms. The disadvantage, whenever I go cross country, I like to stow my brakes and I like to put my arms down. Well, my arms hit. They rest against those swing arms, which it's not really that big of a deal. It doesn't right now, it doesn't feel too bad, but I think that's what can give guys bruising on their arms, especially right in their bicep area here. So I would actually like to see that this be in more around the 40 centimeters. Wait, what was that? That was 52 centimeters, I think, distance. I'd like to see more around the 40. But, that's personal preference. It's really not that big of a deal. The weight shift authority is great with it, and a lot of guys like that. Me, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to keep plugging away this direction here. I almost forgot. I brought the 360 cam with me today. I ended up getting this nice new invisible stick. The other one was double this length. This one's nice and short. I can bring it with me a lot easier. The other one was such a pain. Let's just see here. I get a little bit of a 360 for you of this frame. There we go. How's this? Such a beautiful frame. This should be nice from the 360. Let's come back here, see what it looks like here. Alright. So, so far, just sitting in it, it feels good. My other paramotor felt good just sitting in it, so that doesn't really say a whole lot. But just, let's see, it turned with some brake applied and some weight shift. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I do notice it turns a lot faster whenever you add weight shift. Look at that. I barely added any brake pressure. I just did weight shift with a little bit of brake pressure, and you're turning fast. Alright, so I figured I'd give you some pros and cons to this frame. You know, like I said, I got the Atom 80 on it, help keep the weight down. I weigh 150 pounds, so that's going to help. I haven't been able to get an accurate weight yet because I keep having fuel in it. And I want to weigh it when it's dry. So hopefully, maybe by the time I edit this, I'll have that and I'll be able to post that, what it actually is. But what I've understood was it was 48 pounds essentially, which is more than what I originally understood it to be with the Atom 80. I originally understood it to be 45 pounds, but I think that was before they improved the gas tank. The gas tank is a little thicker now, which adds more weight. So that 3 pounds, I don't know. I think it was just discrepancy in scales, but that's okay. 48 pounds is not bad. It's not the lightest out there. You know, if it's all stainless steel, which there's pros and cons to that. Pro is it's easy for people to repair. The con is it's heavier. You know, whenever I picked these parts out of the box, I was like, oh, there's some weight to it. But it's not bad. So what I'd like to see would be a titanium hoop and spars. That'd make a world of difference in weight. Then we could probably get it down to about 40 pounds. And then it'd be comparable with all the lighter stuff out on the market right now. Let's see here, another pro is the beauty of this frame. This frame's, it's a really nice design. That's what caught my eye from the beginning. Let's see, another pro. It supposedly is easy to break down. Mine in particular, there's a little bit of fit issues that make it really tight. So the ease of taking it apart, not really there. This center spar right here above my head, it's skewed just a tiny bit. So whenever they drilled the hole, they didn't get it perfect. I'm a stickler on perfect, so I'd like to see it perfect. But it's actually skewed off about a good 5 degrees, which not much. Everything fits, it works, but it makes it so whenever you try to connect the hoop down at the bottom, it's harder to get in. One side goes in fairly good, and the other side, it's not easy at all. So that's another con. But that's just minor. That's real minor. It may not even be 5 degrees. It could be something even smaller, but I can see it with my eye that it's slightly off. Not a big deal. It'd be nice if they would send me a new spar to fix that, but that's okay. Let's see here. Another. Well, that was a con. Let's see. Let's try to get another pro. You know, another pro to it is how it feels on your back. When you're on the ground, it feels good. Just bending over, simply bending over to pick up your risers, you can feel a difference. It has a different feel of where the weight is, and it's up a little higher. So just bending up to pick up your risers it's easier, which is nice. I wanted a frame that was like this just because sometimes my back would be hurting, and it's like I wanted something a little bit lighter and easier. That's where the Atom 80 really came in. A small con would be my box. It came with everything except for the little padded case they make that carries the hoop and the spars. Now I was actually expecting that, it's really nice if you got to break your unit down to be able to put those in the little bag. Well, on the main website of the manufacturer, they show that padded case, so I was led to believe that I'd be getting it. Nowhere in the description did anything say I would not. Nowhere in the description said that I would. So I hate it when companies do that, because then they can just do whatever they want, and it's like, well, you get what you get. But you know, it's kind of messed up. But you know, that's minor. It'd be nice if they would send me one, seeing as how I was led to believe that I'd get one, but not a big deal. So another pro, all the weld joints. One thing I noticed was the weld joints are really nice. Every one of the weld joints looks like it was TIG welded, which should be, but they're clean weld joints. So whoever their welder is did a really good job. The fit, another pro would be the fit. Everything is tight, nice and tight. There's no play in anything, that's a good thing. You don't want play in your stuff. I got just a few more minor things. The swing arms, where they attach on the star part of the center section, the way they put the swing arm on is just an 8mm bolt. I think it's 8mm bolt going through the swing arm, and on the back side there's this little grub set screw. Well, from the factory, they did not have that set screw and that main bolt tightened properly. Instead, they cranked everything down and the swing arm would not move. It was not freely moving. So as soon as you backed out the bolt, the set screw was still in the same place. Whenever I snugged the bolt to where it needed to be, it was still hitting. It wasn't hitting the grub screw like it was designed to do. So one thing that was bad is there's no way to get to that little set screw to make the right adjustment without taking the whole thing apart. So that's not good. It would have been nice from their designing standpoint that they would have either designed the tank. So the problem right now is the tank is in the way of that set screw if they keep the swing arms where they're at. So the tank is in the way. You can't get an Allen wrench in there to hit that set screw to make sure the bolt is butted in properly. I'll throw a picture or something to show you what I'm talking about. So I had to take the whole assembly apart just to tighten that. I'm not a big fan of that. I would have liked it to be easily serviced by the end user. It would have been nice if they would have done it right from the factory, but it's all right. Another thing, if they don't put the spacers on for the correct motor, you'd have to do the same thing and swap the spacer out. Anybody that's flying a paramotor though should know where your spacers go and make sure they're in the right direction. If you don't know, you need to contact the US distributor Paraswag, or you need to contact your instructor and find out where they're supposed to go. Mine were set properly from the manufacturer, but mine's Adam 80. I don't know if they purposely did it or not, but I was smart. I looked, they were right. It's easy to just take them out. They're aluminum spacers. They just swap in and out. Not a big deal. So what I would like to see is these swing arms. I'd actually like to see them in a little further. Just flying this little amount of time. I've been flying pretty much the whole time with my arms down and my brakes stowed. And my arms, they're resting against it, the swing arms, and I'm feeling it. It's not that big of a deal though, but it would be nice if they were in a little more. So here's the thing, if they were in a little more, what they could do, they can't put them in more right now because the tank's in the way. But if they would take them in a little more, all they have to do is add about 1.5 inches, well, and that's empirical, but 1.5 inches more length and bring the swing arms down just a little bit more, which would get them away from your arms. We're only talking a little bit. Then they can bring them in a little further. You can get to the set screw, no problem. And you can bring the swing arms in a little further, and you'd never feel them. You never feel them on your arms. They'd feel great. But that's pretty minor. That's every paramotor designer has their way of doing things. If I was to design the frame, that's more what I would do. Right now, another thing, because this is at 52, what is that? That's 52 centimeters. So the length between these arms is 52 centimeters. That's why you feel it in your arms. But as you see, I'm at the farthest of my my harness adjustment here. This buckle, it's all the way. You can't go any further out, which you don't need to. It's at the max distance, but still, you should have some playroom there. That just tells me that it's not in the right spot. It's like they purposely made these swing arms as wide as they possibly could for weight shift authority. I don't see the need in that. That's what you have brake toggles for. You can turn with these. So yeah, you know, it's all pretty minor stuff. In all, I'm very happy with this frame. The few minor gripes I have, not really that big of a deal. Got a little turbulence here, so I'm coming from a Power to Fly frame that had a 100cc Vitorozzi Fly 100 on it, and the performance on this Atom 80, it's a little less power, but it's very, very, very similar to that Fly 100. Everything about this frame and motor combo feels very similar, which I like. Means it's nothing's too different. It looks like my camera shut off. Dang. Oh, well, my 360 camera just shut off. It's telling me I have low power. Well, that stinks. So, in all the renderings and everything, you're led to believe that there's markings on the tank to know how much fuel you have. This is something that's a big no-no. There is no markings anywhere on the tank to know how many liters of fuel you have. Well, as a pilot, you need to know how much fuel you have. You know, I'm fine looking at it to know that there's fuel in it. I know how much fuel I put in, but when you're flying like across country and you come back, you want to look down and see exactly how much fuel you have in, so you know how much longer you can fly for. If you don't know the exact amount, you don't know how long you can really fly for. So what I don't get is why they just didn't simply in the mold make marks in the mold, so when they blow molded this tank, they would have put some embossed lines and numbers in the tank, just like any other tank is made, so you can know where your fuel level is. blows me away that they would send me a tank that has no numbers, no lines, no nothing. So I don't get that, but I'm gonna fix that. I'll paint some lines and some numbers on the tank so I can know where the fuel is. So the way I like to check my fuel is simply with this mirror. So right now I'm gonna see, I have yet to do this, I'm gonna see if I can see my fuel tank with my mirror. Oh yeah, no problem at all. See it really good. I can see the whole tank. I don't know if the GoPro catches that. Let's turn the GoPro down a little bit. See there? You can see the tank easily. I can see it. If I had numbers on it, I would know exactly how much fuel I have in it. So that's like one of my biggest gripes. And you know, that's my biggest gripe. Out of the whole, for this whole frame, that is my biggest gripe. I don't understand how anybody could design something and be a pilot and not want to know the exact amount of fuel they have. And as a pilot, you need to know that stuff. That blows my mind. Wow, it is definitely getting bumpy. Well, let's see, it's been 37 minutes I've been up for. You know, there's one thing I wanted to try, and that's my new throttle. This is my design. I 3D printed this throttle, and I really like the way it fits. It fits the hand really good. You got your two fingers down here for the throttle, and I designed it with a cruise control in it. I want to test out my cruise control. There we go. That's nice. So there, still moving. That's pretty good. So yeah, that cruise control works real good. Bam, just like that. All right. This wind is starting to pick up a bit. Woo! Yeah, so I'm getting bounced around quite a bit. It's one thing, having the swing arms wider, I think I'm gonna feel turbulence a little bit more, but I'm not sure. It's not bad. I'm cruising on my way back though. Look at this. My biggest pro is the design of this frame. It's a beautiful design. You know, I like, you know, there's only one other frame out there right now that's somewhat similar to this, and that's the Gravity paramotor frame. The Gravity's nice, but it's heavier, and the fuel tank sits on the ground. They made the fuel tank similar to this, but they put it all the way to the ground. Why would you do that? I just don't understand that. These guys, they were smart. They made it so the fuel tank is not on the ground, so you got less drag. Right now, my feet underneath this section here, it's just open. There's no drag there. It's all right behind me. So I'll go faster now than what I did before. Should. You know, I can't really tell you for sure because I'm not flying my frames back to back. in the same conditions, but yeah. So definitely happy with my decision to go with this frame. It's a nice frame. There's some minor gripes I have with it, but nothing major. It's all everything that I have a gripe about is minor. It can all be fixed pretty much. The swing arms hitting my arms, I'm gonna put some foam in the recess here. It's what I did with my other frame. My other frame hit my arm, so it's not really any different. It's just, I really feel it right now. So I'm gonna put some foam there, little, you know, the pipe insulation foam. I'll put that on there. That'll make it a whole lot better. Easy fix. Should make it more comfortable. Takes away from the beauty of the frame, but it's not a big deal. So, all in all, I'm happy with my decision to go with the Rebel frame. That's another pro I have is the vibrations. Having the fuel tank on your back like this kind of creates a dampener. I do feel less vibrations. It's actually pretty nice. All in all, I'm very happy with my decision. Glad I got this frame. Frame and motor combo with this Atom 80, it's nice. It's flying really good. Yeah, I'm gonna come into land. This just getting a little too bumpy for me. Not as enjoyable whenever you gotta deal with a lot of bumps. Definitely got some bumps. Gonna be a nice soft landing though. Alright. I just landed. I got about an hour flight in. Really nice frame. This thing's really nice. I do like it. I'm happy with my decision to go with the Rebel 2 frame. Minor stuff, but you know, the minor stuff I can work through that. I don't know that I'd be happy with any frame out there 100%. So you gotta look past certain things. The only way to get around that is design your own frame, and that's not for me right now. I'm glad I landed because it's blowing. Oh, there's an airplane. Squirrel! Nice takeoff. Anyway, yeah, so I'm liking this paramotor. It's really nice. It's a beautiful design. These guys, the design of it is what caught me in the first place. The idea of this, I mean, this gas tank is on your back. There's no drag down here. When you're sitting, all that's open. It just looks awesome. You know, I love the look of it. It kind of looks more futuristic to me or something. You know, it's simple. Everything is simple about it, which I like. No reason to have all kinds of complicated stuff to it. It's very simple, very strong. This thing, it is strong. Whenever everything snaps together, it's good. It is supposed to be easy to take apart. I don't think we can see, but mine, yeah, I don't think it's going to show, but it's probably not going to show. It's probably tweaked so much. This spar on mine is canted just a smidge. Well, whenever that happens, you start basically from the top and work your way down. What happens is once you get down to the bottom here, it gets to be difficult to get it to come in. As you can see, everything fits together good. So it's canted just ever so slightly, but that much is making it so that it's harder for you to get one side in compared to the other. That's minor though. The fit it's pretty good other than that. So this is what I was talking about up in the air. Trying to adjust this, there's a little grub screw here, and that grub screw is butting up against this bolt. This is how they designed it. Well, you can't get to that Allen screw to tighten it to the proper amount without taking all of this off from the tank. That makes it not user friendly. All they had to do was lengthen this a little bit more, which would make your swing arm come down a little further. If they would have lengthened it a little bit more, you could have gotten an Allen wrench in to be able to service this properly. So now down the road, if I needed to take this off and everything, if something was to change, I'd have to take all of this apart again just to get this properly set for the proper amount of tension on these arms, because you don't want any play in the arm, but you don't want it so tight you can't move it. So that, you know, that is one thing I think they could have done better on their engineering. If they would have brought this down further, they actually could have brought this in more too. All they had to do is add another inch and they could have brought this in, and it would have been past this, and you could have still gotten in there with an Allen wrench, and it wouldn't be so wide. All it needs to be, you know, the swing arm just needs to be in, I don't know, just a little bit more, about an inch in more, and it'd be pretty good, but it's not critical. So yeah, you can see the gas cap. One thing I noticed with this gas cap was the little rubber tip here. That rubber tip, whenever I got it, you could not blow through this. I actually had to open that up just ever so slightly. This tiny little piece, I opened it up just ever so slightly to where you could blow through. If you don't, you're gonna have issues. Your engine's not gonna want to run right. It can't suck the fuel in. So that's critical. You can see it's a nice fuel cap. Goes in pretty easy. You don't want to cross thread it like that was about to do, but see, there we go. So goes in nice and easy. The way that the whole assembly, the way that everything's attached to the fuel tanker with these aluminum bushings, they go all the way through the tank, and see, go to the other side. Well, they're a two-part design. They screw together with a bolt. Bolt goes in, and then you have a set screw there to butt up against it. It's a nice design. You can see all of them the way they do that. Let's see here. The pulley up here is a real nice addition. They have it so that if you want to take this apart, you can simply take it off here and pull this off and take your spar off real easy. And it's up here center, so if you're left or right handed, it doesn't matter. It's easy to get to when you're pulling it down. It comes with a nice little cinch strap. I actually like this cinch strap quite a bit. It makes it real easy to tighten up the frame, I mean the netting. The way that this netting goes on is nice. It snaps on. It's a snap-on type netting. kind of like the Maverick from Parajet. So you snap it on. I go from the top, snap it on, and then I work it all the way down. And you see the finish here, it goes all the way to the end. I actually had to trim mine just a smidge to get the fit just right. It was a little too long, but yeah, so that's nice. This bottom piece, it connects here. It actually slides into that section, slides in and out. All right, so you know, I'm real happy with it. Everything's good. It's a nice paramotor. Okay guys, so that's my review of the Evo Aviation Rebel 2 RS frame. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hey, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, oh well, give me a thumbs up anyway. And you know, throw a comment down if there's something that I didn't point out that you're curious about. Throw a comment, let me know. I'll see if I can give you an answer. Yeah, so all right guys, well, happy flying. Look forward to flying this frame more. I can already tell I really like it. It's a great frame. So have a great day. God bless you guys. See you in the air.